Sorry, I have to record at the beginning. I always forget. I'm thinking about it. How are things in Australia? Oh my gosh, Louise is here.
Oh my gosh.
Why aren't you sleeping?
Blame yourself, Jade and Layla. It's your fault. Louise is
Joining
here.
crazy club.
Yeah, exactly.
The night owls.
Did you hear that, Louise? You're officially inducted into the crazy club.
Hey, sorry, I couldn't hear anything for a second. My audio was playing up.
Can you hear it now?
Just about, yeah. It's not connected to my earbuds, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. No rush. I mean, it's only 2 a.m. there. We were just
I have a party hat.
Yeah, we were just saying that you're now inducted into the crazy club, and I blame Jade and Layla or Lila. Oh my goodness, you guys are something else. I can't believe you're up at 2 a.m. That's crazy. Well, Louise, you tell us about your day first.
If you give me 2 seconds, I will leave and rejoin so the audio resets.
Perfect. Then Lila, how's your day?
Look, it's amazing as usual. Living in paradise. What can I say?
I love your attitude. You're such a breath of fresh air, my friend. I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
I mean, I have no complaints. It's just wonderful.
How are your chickies?
Oh, they're gorgeous. Last night was so adorable because I wear a really big man shirt, so I've got lots of room in the shirt, and so they literally climb into my armpits and snuggle into my neck here, and so I've got 2 chickens on this side in my neck and my armpit, and 2 on this side, and one goes diving down here, and so it can hear my heartbeat, and they're all just like sleeping there. It's so adorable.
So your little chickens were nesting.
Yeah, and that's their usual nightly ritual. That's their night cuddle before. Yeah.
I was gonna say I cuddle my kids before I put them to bed. It makes sense to me. Oh, that is so funny.
I have a chicken that just likes to peck me, Layla.
Oh, see, that's beautiful.
No, I'd like to slap her when she does that.
I guess it depends on how they do it. If they're doing it for because remember they don't have like hands, so they communicate with their beak, like when they want to touch you or something. And
yeah, she hollers at me before she does it, so she's not happy.
And then pecks you.
Yeah, she doesn't like me. She doesn't like me stealing her eggs.
I can't say that I blame her. She worked hard on that. I have to say. Welcome everyone. Debbie, it's good to see you. Dana, Diane, hello. Everyone, welcome.
Hello.
It's so good to see everyone again. One of you, I think I tried sending a book to. No, it was someone else. Nope, never mind. Sorry. Dana, are you in Canada? No, Dana, where are you at? Are you in Oregon?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I was like, no, you're not the Canadian I'm thinking about. I was trying to send a book to, anyway, drama at the post office today. Seriously, there was a line of 6 people and I had this stack of books and I was like, I just need 2 more customs forms because I had one. Oh, Louise, it was yours. I was trying to send you bonbons, yoga pants, and they were like out of customs forms. So she sent me this express mail and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to spend $75 sending this.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
So can you give me a different customs form? And then she's like, well, we're out. So she's like fluttering around trying to find it. She's like cursing this guy under her breath. She's like, he never restocked it. She's like so angry. And there's like 6 people like behind me and I was like, just don't make eye contact. Just don't make eye contact. My daughter was like sleeping in the car. Anyway, it was really dramatic. And I finally was like, I'll come back later. Why don't you just go? We'll just go ahead and get the other ones. And then like, I don't know, Lila and Jade, if you're going to get your books because she had such a hard time entering them in. I was like, this poor woman is having the worst day. So Louise, I have to go back tomorrow and see if
it's okay. No rush.
Lay down. Lay down.
Technically, you'll be sending it on my birthday at that point for you.
I was just going to say, do you have a birthday hat on there, Louise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's technically the 3rd where I am, and it's the 3rd where our Australian friends like Layla are.
Yes, it is.
So-
To be clear, everyone, it is 2 in the morning in the UK where Louise is. So she has officially joined the crazy club with our president and vice president Lila and Jane. So there you have it. She has stepped.
So Louise, it is your birthday today then?
Technically, yes.
Woohoo!
Technically, yes. Well, happy
Depends where you are in the world.
birthday, technically.
Depends
Happy
where in
birthday.
the world you are.
So exciting. Oh, there we go. We're getting everyone in here. Well, happy birthday, Louise. Thanks for letting us ring in your birthday with you. Do you have any fun plans today?
Probably gonna get up late after staying up late. But the only thing I have planned is I'm helping out with some upcoming elections that are getting the word out.
That's awesome.
Been doing that for weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you mentioned that before. Is Hector going to be joining you?
Depends on the weather.
Fair. Are you guys raining over there?
It rains often, but we've had quite nice weather the past month or so not too bad.
Yeah.
I finished the drawing that I said I was going to do. I don't know if you saw it on Telegram or Facebook.
No, I
I
haven't.
did. It
I'll
was
have a
cute.
look.
Yeah,
I did.
It was cute.
it's basically meant to be like Bianca, but
Oh yeah.
Oh, My Little Pony, beautiful. It is
and I don't know
Bianca.
if you
Look at
could
that.
see, but I've
The
tried to do
circus.
circular.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were telegramming about this earlier, but I have been. It's the first thing that came up on my Facebook. I have been chasing children and dogs all day.
Yeah, I thought I'll leave you to do what you need to do.
my
And I
poor-
just decided to try and attempt to draw the circulus myself.
I know, sweet. So we have. I run my company off Telegram, and Louise has officially joined as she's like working on our wiki. So she's helping like bring our wiki up to date. So on Telegram, she had requested like to know what the circulus looks like, and I was right in the middle of running errands, and I was like, I'll draw it tonight. And my poor team's always like, so she's gonna get to it tomorrow. So Carrie was like trying to help Louise out, and anyway, it's just bonkers. But that looks awesome. That's so fun, Louise. I love it.
It came to me in my head. I thought that would be fun to draw. I thought, why not draw it for like, so it's ready for 2 a.m.
Heck yeah, I love fan art. You're like, if I'm gonna be up at 2 in the morning, I'm gonna have My Little Pony. I think that's a pretty good plan. That looks great. You have a great talent with drawing.
I'm not the best. I kind of used like an outline on my computer screen that I drew the base on paper with, and then added the rest afterwards.
Still think it looks great. Yeah, Carrie.
I love it.
Thanks.
I love My Little Pony. I think it's great.
I used to watch.
I just watched it all
OG.
weekend with my grandkids.
Oh, really? I was like OG My Little Pony, like when it first came out in like the 90s, like 80s, 90s. Is that when it came out?
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
off the top of
know.
my
I
head.
don't keep track of time. I don't have any idea of what time.
1983 was when the first figures came out, and 88 was when the first TV show came out. Off the top of my head,
How do you know that off the top of your head?
they did a 35th
Louise.
anniversary thing a few years ago for
Oh.
the. So yeah, and it was called.
Oh, you're the
Established
perfect person
1983.
for Wiki then. You're perfect for the Wiki, Louise. You always know all these facts.
She's awesome.
It's my memory's weird.
I will keep you if I ever go on Jeopardy. Oh wait, you don't get to talk on Jeopardy.
Earpiece.
Like random trivia stuff. Well, I hope you have a happy birthday doing election stuff and hanging out with Hector and sleeping in after coming.
Have cake,
Oh, good. What kind of cake is
Oh,
it?
good.
red velvet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The picture looks a
Oh,
bit
so-
bigger than the slices would be with the cake, though.
It always is. That is how it always is for sure.
I just celebrate the whole month. I take the whole month for my birthday.
Are
So
you
in
a month
September,
person?
that's it. September, the whole month is mine because it's not until later in the month. So I just go, yeah, take the whole thing.
You're like
like
my
to do
sister,
that too.
Layla. That's what she does. She celebrates the whole month.
Is that Holly?
Yeah.
Isn't it
Yes,
birthday?
it's Holly.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds right. That sounds right. Birthday month.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
it's actually my husband's birthday today.
Oh,
happy
Happy birthday
Oh,
to
wow.
him.
Yeah. He's such a Scrooge. So no, legitimately a total Scrooge. So he like had to work last night and then he has to work tonight. So he slept most of the day of his birthday. But I was like, well, the kids really want you to have like a cake. And he's like, I don't really want a cake. And I was like, well, like, can the kids pick one out for you so they have fun on your birthday? Listen, cranky old man. And he's like, sure, let Claire pick out a cake and like see what she chooses. So we went to the store and she she chose this heart-shaped pink one that said mom.
Oh.
Like, and I was like,
Good girl.
it's gonna work. So we brought the cake home and then Claire gave it to him and then he ate half of it before we could put candles.
Oh.
And he's like, happy birthday to me! Super excited. So yeah, we love May birthdays around here. They're really fun. And that was the extent of his birthday. I bought him Panera to take for his birthday dinner tonight, and he was excited about that. And that is how we do birthdays here.
what's that? What's Panera?
It's like a bakery. It's an
Oh,
American
okay.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
good. When I ate gluten, I ate it all the time. Anyway, who else has like something fun going on that you guys want to share?
Oh, I want to.
I'm hoping mine comes today, Debbie.
Mine came today.
That is the funnest.
Woohoo!
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey
All
there,
right.
also,
Look at Jean
First
Marie.
official
Oh,
Katie
Jean
Craft
Marie.
merch.
Son of a god.
This is a big day.
Yeah.
Everyone mark it on your calendars. The day you
Dean Baxter.
first official merch.
Do you know what day it is?
Louise's birthday.
I mean, phew, that's not till tomorrow.
Friday is my son's.
Oh, May is a great week around here.
Six.
For the first
Yeah.
We'll just pretend like it's your
My-
birthday right now, Louise, so that we're all so
I think half the people I know have birthdays in May, so it's a busy month for me.
That's great. Yeah.
March is our biggest for our family.
Mm. March
But
is
my son's birthday is Friday, the day of the 6th.
it's like double celebration then. New book and your son's birthday. So Debbie got her first merch. Jean Marie, you're wearing yours and it looks phenomenal. Anyone else?
Mine is, I'm hoping delivered today. I have to pick it up tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have it on Friday.
Right, because you have like a P.O. box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just sent you a book today.
Oh, good. Yes. Great.
I love my bookmark and that you wrote on the back of it.
Ah, yay, you got bookmarks. I'm glad they're finally coming through. I had to like, yeah, it's been fun figuring all that out. That's all I have to say. I'm glad that you liked it. So I got it so I could write write messages on the back, but I was like, I wonder if people are gonna think we're really cheap and we just didn't get like a bookmark.
I thought you writing on the back made it extra special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be really fun. And then like Kim, you can keep them for 9 years. Kim has the
That's
OG
right.
bookmark, everyone.
That's because that's a bookmark I don't use.
Yeah, she has the
So it's still
bookmark.
it's
that
still
I-
in great shape.
Yeah, I launched into Stables with it. Like the one that came out. What is that? Like 8 years ago now?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 years.
Yeah.
It was 2014.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Get it laminated. They'll last a long time.
It's not, but it's really a nice one.
It's a nice one. I
It's-
just can't believe you still have it.
Grab it right- Maybe. I can find it.
Funny. Well, let's see. Do I have any updates for all of you?
Saw your update this morning that you put up.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So so for those of you that aren't in the launch teams, is anyone here? Debbie, you're not yet, right? But you're going to be once you catch up. I think everyone else is on the launch team, right?
I'm not
you're
either,
going
but-
to also. I say Jade's going.
Where's Carol tonight?
Someone text her that she's busted. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding. We just have
yeah,
Andy.
Andy can't be
Is
here
Andy?
tonight. Sorry.
Oh,
She can't-
Andy's not
yeah,
gonna be.
yeah. No, apologies from Andy. Things got a little bit crazy at home, so she can't make it tonight.
Ah.
Tonight, whatever.
Yeah. She has little babies, little babies.
Yeah. So she let me know just before the call. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what's happening is I'm pulling my romance, and we talked about this last week, but I'm like pulling my romance back into the family, right? I had to have them separate and pulling them back together. But I also have a romance launch team. So I just reached out to the launch team today and just let them know what my plan is. So right now, the plan is to launch 2 romance books a year. So it'd be like July and December. And I would use the launch team for that. So we'll still have the email list. We just won't have the Facebook groups. So it would mostly just be done through email. So it would be a much smaller launch. It'd be different than what we do here. And then we'll like talk about it in the Witchery. So if anyone wants to like talk about it on Facebook, we'll be talking about it in the Witchery. But we're just not going to do it that often. And the romance Facebook groups have like been sort of wheezing their way to death. Like
Yeah.
I think Jane has been posting more than anyone. So we've decided to kind of help keep my focus on books. We're going to close those 2 Facebook groups, but we're still going to support romance. We're just going to do it from fantasy, since romance is going to be twice a year instead of like last year we launched how many, like 10? We launched like a ton. Yeah, Lila.
I got a question. Now, was I dreaming at some stage of I see your face pop up, so I'm not sure, were we talking? Was it on video? I don't know. Did I dream this? So you mentioned possibly doing a romance novel in Alcara?
Oh yeah, you didn't dream that. So
Because I think that would be great if the intent, like if people realized beforehand this is a romance. Because one of the things you mentioned this morning I've been thinking about, as again since, you know, well, actually it's been a while, so it's interesting you brought it up on the video. I wonder, all of you, like, do you have expectations when you start a book? Like, do you have like this idea on what it might be when you read a book or you watch a movie or something like that? You know, I wonder how many people have that, like an expectation first. So like if you were doing a romance novel but in Alcara, it'd be like this thing where you'd be having to say to people, this is a romance. Because otherwise people might jump on and go, hey, hang on, this isn't what we normally get.
Yeah, so the marketing would have to be super clear if we did that.
Yeah.
And what we would do, so I'm noodling over the idea, but I have, like, you guys have given me such an extensive list of books that it'll be like a little bit before I can get there. But what I would do is I would sort of create like a town, probably in the central network, but maybe even like the east or somewhere else in Alcara, or the north. I would love it in the north too, but it'd be too much like Pineville.
Yeah.
Like another mountain town romance. We would pick, like, we would make a town, and then we would follow the people in that town through like their romances, like in Pineville. So we would take the idea that we already do, but we would just put magic and like Alcara into it, right? So it would have to be super, super clear marketing. The problem is my fans are like so used to getting like the Bianca, like Isadora, Sana, Victoria-esque fantasy that I don't know if they actually want just the plot lines. And I spent an hour today talking out oh my God, 5 more coffee shop novels.
Whoa.
You guys, so bad.
I'm not surprised.
Like,
See, just when you thought you weren't going to do that many.
Yeah,
So
I remember hearing that. No, that's it. That's it.
For real,
Protect
I've
me,
tried.
that's it.
So I tried both, right? I was like, no, I'm going to draw a hard boundary, and I'm going to say I'm not going to do a coffee shop series anymore, and I'm just going to sit with it and like see how it feels, see how people react. Because really, ultimately, I don't make the decision like my readers do. If they want more, I'm going to do more. But I wanted to see how it felt for me, because I can't write books that I'm not excited about, right?
Yeah.
So I've tried it both ways, and I've also punted it to my business consultant both ways. And because Joe is phenomenal at what he does, but he's basically like, you need to stop writing romance and you need to focus on fantasy. And I'm like, let's talk about this. So I can do whatever I want, right? And I go against his wishes all the time, but I kind of need to like justify why I pay him a lot of money and go against his wishes, right? So anyway, I finally just landed on Gemma, she's one of my biggest romance readers. She was like, you gotta like, you're starting to ignore us. You've got to like talk to us. I was like, I know, I'm not trying to ignore my romance readers. There's so much, I can't hold all of this right now. So I have to figure out like what's possible, what I can do. And that's when I was like, okay, if we close these Facebook groups, we put the romance on a schedule, that's what I can do. So that's when I came out of it. So long story short, I don't know if I'm going to do a fantasy romance dedicated series or not, which is why I kind of want to leave the coffee shop series open, because they're so fun for me to write. Like they're such a nice break, and they like refresh my palette, and I come stronger into fantasy. And that's what I learned the last 5 months. You guys, I've been sitting on this decision for like 8 months, right? So I've been working with this business consultant for a long, he and I have been flirting around working together for almost a year before I finally was like, okay, I'll work with you. Cause he works with like a very specific niche of people, and he doesn't work with a lot of people. So that seed was planted a long time ago, but I just couldn't leave my readers hanging, right? And I had to test it. So I finally landed on, I love romance. It makes my fantasy better. Like I write better fantasy when I've taken a break and I'm like in this contemporary coffee shop world, and I come back to my fantasy stronger. That's what I proved out these 5 months. Now I have to prove out my time so that I can create really great manuscripts that don't suffer, but at a higher speed, right? So I can like write these fantasy and romance books in a way that no plot, no writing, none of your experience is hampered by the speed. So that's the only thing I'm trying to prove out now, which is why I want the launch team to know it would be about every 6 months that you'd be getting a new book, and we could keep the series active. And you're right, Lila, like after I said that, I put it into the world, then my brain's like, well, let's go, Katie. And I went on a hike, and I voice record telegrams to myself. I'll show you how many I have. This is ridiculous, you guys. And then I was driving my daughter around running errands, and I was doing them then, like while I was picking up my son. So all of these are voice messages to myself that I sent today that were story ideas.
Wow.
Some of those are like
Dang.
5 minutes long. Some are like 10 minutes. So there's probably an hour of audio ideas that I had today for the series.
Can I ask about, those voice messages you do? How do you transfer them to something else? Because that takes time too, and you don't have the time to be sort of transferring that into documents. So how do you do it?
I just make it part of my process. So I listen back, and then I develop the plot outline from those. And so then I'll like write the idea down, and I'll pause it. And then with that idea, I'll have more ideas, and I'll have the structure on the paper so it flushes out, and then I'll go back and hit play. So it'll take me about 3 hours to process that out. But I'll probably walk away with 6 full plots, right? The ideas just come so fast. So I don't know, you guys. As long as you're still running the coffee shop.
I love the coffee shop as well. So I love the coffee shop as well. So I'll be in on that too. So whatever.
I'm so glad. Love that.
I'm smiling at Garrett's comment. He said, "Tell him to come on over because we need more on Team Merrick."
I think Team Merrick is the biggest team at this point, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm kind of lonely. Oh, good shirt.
Did you see the hat?
But I thought I'd wear the shirt anyways.
You found your other one. Oh, it's Leanne. Leanne is
Yay!
Baxter. Yes, I knew there was another one. I was gonna find you another one, Jean.
2 of us. Woohoo!
I was gonna find her for you.
No longer alone.
Never alone.
What was that comment? I missed it. What was the comment? Something about coffee shop series? Someone wrote a comment.
Oh,
I can't see it on my phone.
There was a question. Debbie, are the romance books all connected like the network series? Yes. So in the coffee shop series romance, there's 9 books now. I'm finishing up the 9th, and it basically it It all happens in the Frolicking Moose coffee shop. It's all somehow connected to the Frolicking Moose coffee shop. And it's the people that work there, or it turns into an Airbnb and they stay there. So there's this like, it's basically centered around this small mountain town of Pineville where there's the Frolicking Moose coffee shop, and it's the people that are somehow connected to that coffee shop.
Is there an order?
Yeah, so there's books 1 through
Okay.
9. And you could
Okay.
read them independently, but it's more fun to go in order because like the characters reappear and like build and the stories kind of grow on each other. For sure. So like those of you that had read, this won't spoil anything. For those of you that have read Clean Sweep, 3 of the story ideas that I came up with oh, gross. Sorry. My dog's so gross. I think he's like choking. He's fine. 3 of the stories I came up with today were Leslie's sons.
Good.
So anyway, so like I have a character that's book number 8, and she has 3 sons that are single, and so they're gonna get their own books, right? So it just kind of builds off of each other. And there's a character in the series that is an author, and he has written 30 romance novels. And so and his name's Bastian. So I keep saying I'm gonna Bastian this series, and I'm just gonna write like 30 novels in it. So
Sounds like he's in some kind of never-ending story.
feels like it.
Because the main character in the never-ending story is called Bastian.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Anyway, what was your question, Louise?
Oh yeah, I put the hand up a bit ago when you were talking about like romance within Alcara, but you had a lot to say, so I didn't want to interrupt. I was gonna say, in short stories from the Netflix series, you had what was basically a romance story set within the series with Camille and Brecken, yeah, which was like a mathematical love story, which
it was
appealed to me.
Oh, I love that he loves geometry.
It was algebra,
geometry. It's been a while.
Geometry's the fun one with shapes.
Good point. Fair. Yeah, so I've had like some short stories, like Marie and Derek have their short story.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one's like my favorite. I just love to read Spoony Derek. When he's not being a total pill in his own story. Yeah, and I have Camille and Brecken, and then I have Derek and Marie, and then by popular request, we'll be doing Martin and Mildred also coming up soon.
Michelle and Nicholas.
You want Michelle and Nicholas? Well, they kind of
I just wondered.
Yeah,
right.
They're kind of like ongoing within. Priscilla's gonna get like some kind of romance. I'm just not sure where that one's going.
What about Malcolm and Izza?
Yeah, she's doing that.
Or Maximilian and Izza?
Max.
I was like, Malcolm. So they are getting a follow-up series. That's the big project after the network saga is called the Sister Witches series. I don't know. I might do the Sister Witches saga, but I haven't decided. Or just the Sister Witches. And we're gonna go back to Isadora and Sana because everyone asks for more Isadora and Sana, and everyone asks for the gap between the Dragon Master trilogy and the network series to close with another series. So
I just want more Max.
Henry Cavill, everyone. He is Henry Cavill.
Oh, wow.
He stilled my heart. I'm like, oh no, like we need to get this movie produced because Cavill's getting older. Like I think Dame Judi Dench is gonna die before we can get her into Mildred's, which really breaks my heart because she is definitely Mildred. Anyway, yes, so there is romance stories in Alcara. There's just not a dedicated series. So I'm just gonna see how the next year kind of flies out with projects, and then we'll take it from there. See what happens.
I think short stories are great for doing romance within a fantasy series because it means that those who are there for the fantasy don't miss out so much. Plus, those that want the romance get some elements of it. Plus, it can cover characters that aren't featured as much within the books, at least in my thoughts.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what the novellas are I think that's why they've been so fun, right? Like you guys are getting different stories.
I love them.
Perspectives. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. And the nice thing about the Dragon Master trilogy and then the upcoming The Sister Witches is it's third person instead of first person. So like it can be more expansive, right? Like you can kind of see and understand things a lot better than when you're just thinking through Bianca. So that's really fun too. I'm hoping to start launching the Sisterhood or the Sister Witches, whatever, the Sister Witches in the fall, but we'll just kind of see what like what novellas are gonna come up. We'll see what novellas come up. They just go ahead. Oh, you're talking to your dog.
Sorry, Susan, I'm gonna head off to sleep now.
Yes,
It's
go to sleep,
2:30.
Louise.
I'm
Thanks.
tired.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy
birthday.
Awesome
Day
day.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh wait, let's do a celebration react quickly. Bye.
Mary Part.
Oh, Andy didn't get to see her just as she logged in. Andy!
Hi.
Louise,
Hi. I'm gonna be able to just be for like 10 minutes. This has not been my week.
Aw.
And that's only the beginning, Andy.
It's only Monday.
Oh, I know. But yesterday, oh man, it was a lovely road trip until something went bad in my tummy. And
Oh, no.
all I'm gonna say is I had to go back commando.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh, it's so humiliating being a 40-something-year-old and go commando. And my kid was like, "Ma, dude, how could you?" Oh,
I'm sorry.
but it's life. How are you guys
Oh.
doing? What's the topic now?
Oh, I was just talking about updates with like romance coming into fantasy. I posted a video on the launch team today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we were just talking about that and just taking some questions about that. So you haven't missed anything too crazy. Plus the replay will post. So if you do want to see it later for some reason, you can always watch it. But
Yay.
it was Louise's birthday, but she just left. So that was exciting.
Oh man, I'm gonna
I
write
was hoping
her.
Carol was going to be on here tonight. She ordered a spa kit.
Oh, she ordered one? That
She
stinker.
ordered
You
one.
want to win one?
I said maybe you'll win one.
She's
So
like, I'm not
See,
she should have got
now
that
I
today.
get now I get to win one.
Yes, you do.
How are we gonna get it to you?
Yeah.
Get there till
I've been
December.
seriously thinking about moving because oh my god, I miss my sisters. I miss I don't know, but the embassy still does not want to grant me visa for Michaela, so I cannot live without my baby. Blah, blah, blah. No, and I don't know. But
And then out
anyways,
the window.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Andy. Well, let's talk about something happy.
please, yes. You know what? I finally figured out why. Because it kept going. I'm kind of obsessive sometimes with certain things when they bug me a lot. Why I didn't like the finish of Divergent and didn't mind the other one. Like the Maze Runner. We were watching Ender's Game with my sister. Have you seen that movie, guys?
Yeah.
I've read the book.
Read the book.
All right. In the movie, the guy that plays Bonzo, he's a really nice guy, but when he makes his angry face, he's like a very disgusting person. Like you it's like Imelda Stout in Harry Potter. You love that woman, but you see her as Umbridge and you just want to slap her, you know?
Yeah.
So the thing was that when they were doing Divergent, she hadn't finished the trilogy when they made the first movie. And the guy she cast is the same guy as the Fault in the Stars or something like that. Ansel something. And he's a really nice guy. He's really good looking. And he's not the coward type. So based on that, that's the idea you have in your head. So you have this person that has shown you that he can be brave in book 2 and in the movie. And then in book 3, he's a complete coward. It just doesn't make sense.
Got it.
You know, I don't know if you've seen Mortal Instruments.
Yep.
They cast this really skinny guy.
Oh,
like
that
legs, like
Yeah.
he was horrible.
yeah. And
The
you
guy on
read
the
the
guy
book.
on TV was better. The guy that they had, in the,
Yeah,
he was way better.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, when you get an idea in your head of a character, it's really important that if you're writing books and you're casting someone, make sure that the person you are writing is somewhat similar to the person you are watching, or your readers are watching, because you get an idea of a person and then they switch it and it doesn't make sense. It's like you said the last time, you lose trust in people.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
It
so
can
I
be so
figured that
different
out.
though. It can be so different though, because we all have different ideas on what's hot,
Yeah.
what's sexy, what's strong and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I think that's the beauty for me about the books. That's what I love about the books, is
Yeah.
that we can,
Yeah.
even though like Katie sort of directs us a little bit, there's so much we can take on and go, oh, and turn them into this person, like with the romance too.
Oh,
Like with the
totally.
romance
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah,
But you get an idea of a person. It's like the show on Mental Games, that they choose, they show you two pictures and they tell you which one is a man and which one is a woman. And then it's the same person, only that they made the skin lighter or darker in the picture. And then you think, okay, this is the guy and this is the girl. And then when they zoom out, it's the same person. Your brain is kind of like wired to associate certain things. If you have a nice face, he might be, never judge a book by its cover. You might expect
I wonder
something.
about that. I wonder about that, whether it's, do you think it's also like social, like or cultural? Like if we were, like, we're all of us are very similar in our culture. We might be a little bit, have certain backgrounds, but it's not like we're living in Eastern area or in China or something, where, you know what I mean? So I wonder whether culture has a lot to do with that for us as well, and what we think is masculine, feminine, sexy or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's more the kind of, if you're like a person that's always, you're not going to be inviting to someone, opposite of as if you're a person that smiles a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah,
Andy, what you're trying to say basically is that because of the actor, you had expectations that the movie didn't fill.
Yeah.
Basically. Like,
yeah, that the book didn't fill. Yeah, the guy, and,
well,
and
but to be
especially
fair, the author has zero control over any casting.
Yeah.
Like, no say at all.
Mhm.
So,
Oh.
like, J.K. Rowling kind of did, because she's J.K. Rowling. But if you're not J.K. Rowling, like, honestly, I've had actors and producers and other people tell me this. The author is the least desired person on a movie set. Like,
Yeah.
they're the last person that they
That's
want
so
there.
wrong.
They don't
That's
get
so
any.
wrong.
Yeah,
Don't like.
that's not right.
Writers and producers and directors, authors don't get a say unless you're Diana Gabaldon, Stephanie Meyer, or J.K. Rowling.
But how did they get to be?
How did
Yeah.
they?
How did JK get to JK?
Because I think she was
had
on
to
set
say
a lot as well.
Seven incredible books.
Yeah.
Well, the books weren't that bad, I don't know.
I'm just saying,
But
Andy,
still,
it
I think
wasn't
that's
the
the thing.
author's fault. It wasn't
Yeah,
the author's
yeah.
fault, because the book was probably already produced. Because in traditional publishing, which she published through, you have to have books like a year to a year and a half in advance of publication date. So if they're making a movie for the first book, she was probably already done with the third book, and it was in the publisher's hands. So she would not have had any control over what they did at the movie. And there's a really good chance that Hollywood had no communication with the publisher whatsoever. So it should all be blamed on the producer, right?
Yeah, I don't care who it was, but I think that was the thing for me, that the actor didn't convey cowardness as it was conveyed in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so
inconsistent for sure.
Yeah,
I'm, cu-
yeah.
I'm curious about talking about actors. Does anyone see who Merrick would be as an actor? Like, do you have any choices? Like, who would you pick as Merrick?
Oh, I always said Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I have a crush on
But
him anyway. I have a
the
crush on him
thing
anyway.
is,
Debbie,
isn't
who were
he
you
too
going
old
to say?
to play Merrick?
He is now. Guys, all of my Hollywood people are aging out of my movies.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler, Chris Hemsworth, like we have problems.
I saw the other day a movie and I was like, wait, I think I've seen that place. It's like, he's so old looking. I don't remember who it was, but I didn't recognize him because he was old looking. I think it was Michael Keaton because I hadn't seen him in anything in like a long time. And then he was in a Spider movie right now. I didn't see I hadn't seen him in like 100 years. And I was like, oh, he's so old.
He looks different. He looks
I
weird.
saw
Very,
Russell
very.
Lila,
Yeah.
Katie and I had this conversation via email because I asked her who she
Oh!
would see, and I told her,
Who'd you pick?
have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
How
the
many
one that
times?
plays Faramir.
Oh,
The
that's
guy
right.
that plays-
Oh,
The guy that plays Faramir, Boromir's younger brother with the long hair. That's who I see Merrick as.
Who else? Does anyone have anyone outside of those
oh,
two?
interesting.
I thought
And-
of you today because as I
Derek
was
is Russell
looking,
Crowe.
That would work.
Derek as Russell Crowe.
I
Russell-
pictured Gerard
Who's
Butler.
Russell Crowe?
Derek.
Derek.
Derek? Oh.
You could go either way. Gerard Butler, Russell Crowe. I could get behind both.
No,
Gerard, like Phantom of the Opera, Gerard is who I picture. Without the face thing.
What you eating? Come tú, es tu pan.
Honestly, I've never ever assigned an actress to Bianca.
That's what I was wondering. I was going to ask you.
No, never.
No.
Who would
I
that
just-
be?
I did that kind of like Stephanie Meyer. I like on purpose leave Bianca in my head as sort of undefined beyond like the gray eyes, the long black hair, that kind of stuff, because I want most readers are picturing themselves or someone they love or someone they want to picture as the protagonist, and that's the most powerful person in the book. So I wanted that to be a little more open, not too open, of course, but just a little more general so people could. Plus, I've never
Notice they can't hear you. They can see you, they can't hear you guys.
Yeah, you're not muted, Andy.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
we
we
could hear
can hear you.
something in the
Sorry. No, but I have headphones.
You're totally fine, Andy. Just wanted you to know. Yeah, but I've also never I've never seen someone that I was like, that's Bianca, you know? I think if I looked for it, Trivia Master Mike has like an actress that he swears by as Bianca.
Oh,
Let me see
wow.
if I can find it on Telegram. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's not too bad, but I couldn't commit the way he did.
It's like Miss Scarlet. You know who I see Professor McGonagall, Maggie Smith as her. When I read her, that's whose like voice I hear. Her snarky.
Wait, let's let Jade.
Yeah.
Let's let Jade have. Jade have a second. Oh, Jade.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, like, from a person who has completely no vision, like the voice of the person when, like, say you read a book and then you watch a movie can be completely different, and like the accent can be completely wrong, and you're just like, why did they choose that person for that? Like, because in books you describe the voice of the person being like rough or timid or excitable, and then when you hear the person playing that person, you're like, that's not right. It's completely wrong.
No. That's a really good point. I never thought of that. I will say, Jade, when I'm doing the audiobook production, there are moments where I have to go re-record entire paragraphs of dialogue, because at the end I have like some dialogue tag or some like sentence that defines how they're speaking, but I did not read it first, and I was like, oh, well, she's not super excited and she's like supposed to be exclaiming. So I was like,
or like,
go back and
someone's supposed to be whispering and they're shouting. It's like, oh no, that's completely wrong.
That's a good point. Yeah. Or like you said, the accent thing kind of drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yes, it definitely does. It's like you've got the accent wrong. Just change it.
accents
And
suck. I will say though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who's joining us. I will say accents are super hard, so you have to be nice to
Oh,
audio.
Carol's getting one.
There's like it's really hard to be consistent with accents. Like you have to constantly be like I'm
But
always
yeah.
looking my stuff up and going back and listening. I have like a line of dialogue from one person, and I have to like go find all these other ones, play it out, practice it, and then record it. So it can take a while to be really consistent with accents. So sometimes I'm like, I'm not doing that accent. It's gonna take me flipping forever. Or I've like deleted lines out because I didn't know how to say it well with the accent. Yeah, it can be hard. Carol, welcome. Hi. We've all been wondering if you were going to make it.
Yes, I was spacey, of course. Nah.
Fine. Well, you didn't miss the sneak peek. Do all of you want a sneak peek tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
I am working on The Forgotten Gods right now. I'm doing the third draft to prep it for beta readers this weekend, which is really exciting. Or I can share from Derek. Who wants? So raise your hands if you want from The Forgotten Gods. Carol does. Okay. Jean Marie. So 3, 4. Wait, is that majority? Wait, who wants from Derek?
I want both.
We already got,
I was gonna say the
we got a
same thing.
sneak peek at Derek though.
Who wants both? We could probably do both. Let me see what I have for Derek. I actually was editing this scene with Baxter, so maybe for Jean Marie, I'll do a Baxter scene.
Son of a god.
You wore the merch.
Oh
Jean Marie.
I did. Mostly to get Garrett going, but he didn't show up tonight.
I did. He's here.
Oh, he's in this. He was, wasn't he?
I'm
here.
It's on here.
I'm
here.
I'm just.
I've got a
Hey,
house full of
Merrick
6
is
people,
here.
including myself. So
Oh,
I've been kind of just hanging out.
Wow. You guys
So
are all
prayers that
so
everybody gets feeling better.
Well, thank you.
You guys are all so committed. I'm so impressed. Like you missed her, but Louise was here at 2 a.m. to ring in her birthday. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, Louise.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this. Okay. Daniel, good point. I was just reading your comment that books in general allow for your own interpretation. Yes. Okay. So Daniel said in the comment, in a movie or audiobook, the imagery is kind of given to you. This is something I've spoken extensively to some people about who don't like audiobooks because it's being told to them and the speed is determined by another person's voice. They don't like audiobooks because they feel like they don't have the space in the room to picture what they want. But other people say because it's given to them, they picture it better. Like it's actually bigger. So it just depends on how you do it. And then a reader was emailing me saying they have aphantasia, I think, which is where you can't actually picture something in your mind. And so audiobooks are really hard for them because they don't picture it. It's all just a logical understanding of the flow of what's happening. So
Why we can't spell anything when we don't read it.
right. And audiobooks I struggle with because I'm like, I can't remember any of the characters' names when I
Yeah,
haven't seen
that's
it.
me too.
Yeah, I struggle with that all the time. Anyway, excellent.
I got to enjoy Piranha because I had the ebook. So when I was listening to the audio for the first time, I actually got to watch I had the time to watch the ebook while you were reading it. But sometimes I really slow down authors because I want that space.
Same.
Yeah.
That's funny because most people that I've heard say they speed authors up. Like that they wish narrators would speak faster.
I do both depending on the person.
Yeah, that's fair because some people just speak differently.
Before you get started, Katie, Kim, I got my stuff. I heard Kim was telling you that I got my pamper kit, and you guys, order from this woman. It is amazing. My husband even went, "Oh my God, that smells so good." Just saying.
It's miracle. Like her lotion,
you got it made. If you win the swag, you got it made.
Her lotion is like silk. It's amazing.
Oh, it is. It's so cool.
My mom gets so mad.
I'm waiting for Smell Zoom so you can like Send it to
Yeah, I know, right?
Brian, here, I'll open it up. Here you go.
Okay, okay.
Can you smell
I'm
it?
ready.
Smell it?
Ah,
The
bring it.
essential oil sprays are really nice too. I really love the cedar.
Yes,
Okay.
I
She,
got
got,
to merge
she
everything
ordered
and it
the
was
same
awesome.
one you did, Katie.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, she did.
You like
She did the cedar orange one.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I know, it really does.
okay.
It is. It's great. Sorry, I left
No,
for a minute there.
You're totally fine. Do you guys want the Forgotten Gods first?
Go.
Okay, we're gonna start. Let's see. Chapter 3. So this is at the beginning of the book. There's no spoilers unless, well, I mean, if you don't know about the Land of the Gods yet, then there might be some spoilers. They are still in Alcara. So this is like ramp up. Oh, you know what? I should read the first scene. That's so good.
Go on, do it.
We'll do that.
Is that going to bother? Hey, Jade, is that going to bother you with where you are?
Oh, I'm fine. I spoil everything for
Okay.
myself anyway.
Ah, cool.
I was like, Jade's been here so long that her and Daniel have no
Yeah.
prayer.
I think I've like gotten a hang of everything just from being here and not reading the books. It's like, yep, I totally know what's happening.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you probably do at this point. Okay, we're actually I have a totally different opening scene than what you guys might have read at the end of
Oh.
Demigods. So I'm gonna read that because it's really
Ooh.
intense and it's really fun. So, and it like I'm gonna actually do 1.5 scenes because the first scene is really small. Okay, this is chapter 1 of The Forgotten Gods. A splash woke me from a deep sleep. Midnight opened in dark silk petals over my cottage, coating the forest in shadows. A gentle breeze sifted through branches overhead, twining through a canted window. When it danced over my skin, sharply cool, I shivered. Dull moonlight lingered in the wood, never making it to the forest floor. Patches of snow still lingered in the deepest root wells. Another splash. The hair on the back of my neck straightened. There should be no gathered water in the middle of my cottage, deep in the sprawling heart of Leadham Wood. I cast a spell to amplify sound, making the quiet ring too loud. My heart pounded in painful slams. Priscilla had moved out. She now lived in the old building for Miss Mabel's School for Girls, as she transformed it into Miss Priscilla's School for Girls. Was the water real? Had I imagined it? A drip of water followed. My body tightened. Not my imagination, then. Had Ava come? No, she never visited at night. How would she get here? Besides, why would she make water sounds? I could have imagined the noises, the sinuous remnants of a dream, perhaps. A glint hovered over my bed, flashing in the low light. Definitely not a dream. I threw my arm out to reach for my sword, Vivite, which hung on the wall to my left. Before my fingers snatched her metal hilt, a wet whip wrapped, wow, I'm gonna have to change that. A whip wrapped around my ankle. The clammy grip tightened. I screamed. Everything disappeared. Let's see the next scene. Ice water surrounded me. By sheer instinct, I didn't gasp, despite the shocking embrace. Salt water burned my eyes when I opened them a slit. My arms flapped, attempting to find up. The press on my body, the utter disorientation, sent me into a panic. I suppressed a scream to save precious air. A quick transportation spell yielded no change. I paused, tried again. No movement. The glacial water against my skin closed like a restricting glove. A blaze burned through my chest as I held onto the air. How long could I hold my breath? Not much longer, but perhaps enough. Batting aside questions of who or what wanted to kill me, I renewed my efforts to orient. My next step was to find the surface or die trying. I forced my eyes open to a dark, blurry world. Pain assaulted my eyes, but I forced them open again. I lifted both hands to my face and released a gasp of air. Bubbles tickled the tips of my fingertips, moving above me. That way to the top then. I paddled the same direction, dizzy now. The urge to release more, all of the air, nearly drove me to do so. With great concentration, I let go of a small stream. Bubbles slipped out of me slowly. The exhale provided some relief as I worked my way up up, up. A tingling spread through my chest. I swam harder. My head grew thick, murky as the water. Darkness closed in. The last of my air escaped out. Horror drove me faster. The hunger for air intensified. Papa, I thought. Papa. The watery whip from earlier slipped around my left wrist and yanked. I raced higher and higher. Too long. It was still taking too long. A bucking sensation overcame my chest. My body wanted to breathe, but I wouldn't let it. Thoughts blurred. Papa. Fear ripped through me, hot and bright and desperate to just breathe already. I broke into the air. The cord released me as I soared into the sky with a giant gasp. Equally frigid air assaulted me a second before I crashed back to the water. I recovered a second breath before a wall of water slammed into me from the side. The smack knocked me senseless. Head over feet, I tumbled through a wave. My fractured thoughts recovered when I calmed. The frightening struggle stopped. Something had brought me here, then saved me at the last moment. Dare I wait to see if it would save me again? Unlikely. The top of the water found me on its own. I rose into the air, stole another breath, and shoved the hair out of my face. A second gasping breath followed, then a third. The anxiety dissipated as I gathered my bearings. A quick scan confirmed no incoming waves. Also, no land. Only bitter, cold, sparkling sea. Tremors racked my body as I pulled my arms closer to my chest. My teeth clattered like old bones. Numbness spread through my fingers, my toes. My cheeks hurt and my eyes burned like coals. The sordid facts lay out in obvious array now. Nearly died, dark ocean, midnight sky speckled with stars. Prana, I snapped. What do you want?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Dang, that's intense.
Oh yeah.
I love how you read it too.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Look at Ellen do it. You should have
Yeah.
seen me recording Prana.
So now we have to wait 2 months. Crap.
But let me give you a little. We have crap. Let me give you a little from Derek really quick. Oh, where is?
You know
Derek?
what's funny, Katie, is now when I'm reading my paperbacks, your voice comes into my
Yeah.
head as I'm reading it. It's like,
Yep.
okay, she's
Yep,
got me
Carol,
already.
me too.
I
Yep,
love
me
that.
too.
Yep, Lila. It's like, okay,
Yep.
Katie's right there in my head. Okay, so
That-
good.
And this is how she'd say it, and this is the yep, I do the same.
That is amazing. I love that so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
What-
You made me cry.
When
I just love it so much when you just read that. It was
now,
just,
oh,
I love all the
Aw.
I love all the descriptions and how it just it's just makes me cry.
oh, you're so sweet, Lila.
Sorry.
Um,
I got a little emotional with Isadora
I
interviews
know.
today. Get that.
really? What
Yeah,
one?
it's just like, geez, am I having a bad day or what?
Oh, you're having a good day, Kim. You're
I
having a
just
good
love
day.
it.
I actually felt sorry for Priscilla in
I love
that
it. I love
today.
it. That's
Yeah, her mom is something.
She is really, yeah, she
Yeah.
is. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeanette. I'd forgotten her name. Jeanette's her name. Yeah, Jeanette was something else for sure. Well, I could read the first scene of Derek if you
Ooh.
want. I have it's a preview. I think is it in audiobook, Garrett? Have you listened to Prana yet?
It's not in the audiobook.
The preview
No,
for Derek isn't
no,
yet? Okay.
no,
It's
it
only
isn't.
it's only in the ebook.
Oh, that's right. Because oh my gosh, you guys, my brain. I just started it like 2 days ago. So of course it's not.
Yeah.
But well, I'm recording audiobooks so fast I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like I just finished
Which
Water
one
and
are you
Light and I'm
doing?
finishing Hazel and I'm starting Derek at the same time. So
Because then you've got the coffee shop series to do when you finish all those.
so many
So many books,
books.
so
Seriously.
little time.
Okay, so here's the deal. Has anyone not read the preview or does not know the preview of Derek yet? Is there anyone here? Because Jade, you definitely haven't then if it's not in the audio, right?
No.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
happy.
I
to hear it.
haven't.
Okay.
I
But I'm happy
haven't
to hear
because
it.
I'm not
Debbie
sure I want to. Because
Oh.
I have to
Better
wait
go-
too long.
You better go silent then.
No, because now I want to hear her say it. I mean, it's not the same as when you read it,
It is.
as when
It is,
Katie
it is.
reads it. So now I have to hear it.
The only thing is
Yeah.
I don't have any accents figured out for Lana or
Oh.
Dayla.
Make them up as you go.
No, it's so bad.
Bro.
It's so so bad. I have to work so much on accents. Like,
This is raw and real. Raw and real.
so I will just I won't put an accent to Lana or Dela, but
Yeah.
you won't even care when I'm reading it because it's just that good. Okay, this will probably take 10 minutes and then we'll call it a day, okay?
Yep.
Okay, I think about 10 minutes maybe. Oh, I don't know, this is long. Oh, it's like 8 pages.
It was good.
You better give us the first two.
You better start. You're like the time's ticking.
What's really funny is that when I read the preview, it's like, where'd she come in? It was like, it's like, okay, gotta go back to that other book because it was like, who is this woman that's in the
Dela,
West? Yeah, it's like,
I didn't think
you-
she sounds like a traitor, but
were you
Yeah.
confused? Wait, were you confused about Dela? Like, can I fix something in there so it's not confusing? Because if you have to go back, that means other readers might have to also, so I can fix it so you don't have to, so you're not confused.
well, I was just, I couldn't remember Lana either. And it was like, oh no, Carol, you just missed something somewhere because
Can
it's like,
we?
yeah,
Lila's like, can you get this going?
Who are they?
Yeah.
Just tell me who they are.
Wait,
Wait, was sorry, I heard like 3 voices there. Did someone have something to say? Okay, let's get started. Lila's in a hurry. Okay, chapter 1.
No, I'm not.
So,
It's just the anticipation.
in the first few chapters of Derek, I give the timeline so that you kind of know where it's at because it starts in the Rise of the Demigods. So chapter 1, 2 days after Rise of the Demigods begins, a day after Derek speaks to Bianca in the gardens. The burnished smells of the Western Network lay heavy in the air, a palette of spices, cumin, paprika, yellow hellfire pepper. Derek Black's eyes watered as he peered through the wavering morning heat. The sun had barely begun to rise, and already sweat trickled between his shoulder blades. He sidestepped a witch muttering under her breath. A heavy turban shielded her from the glare of the sun. Slashes of black colored the space beneath her eyes. That way, the reflection of the sun wouldn't be so bright. A crowd of stinky bodies teemed around him, collectively moving down an open alley structured in between white canvas tents. The market had been open for hours. The owner of a stall of dried, salted camel meat packed up with the morning rays. He'd scuttle into the shadows of some cave or cavern until the scorching hours passed. Witches called out, selling wares inherent to the nomadic lives of the clans: animal skeletons, hides from barrel-chested desert animals, clay pots, leather water horns, water. Always water. The price for water rivaled what witches in the Central Network would pay for a week of food. Derek's mouth burned at the thought of a fresh drink, and he put a hand down to his left hip. His leather skin was still there. Shocking. Orphan children, collectively referred to as imps here in the Western Network, had sneakiness down to an art. Most of the time when he came to the West, his water ended up filched by their grabby little hands. He didn't care. Much. Today, he pulled his hood higher, tucking farther back in the fabric. He moved with the crowd, eyes darting. Flashes of color drew his eye as he sought gems, amulets, any sign of a demigod in the desert halls of Alcara. There had been a demigod here just yesterday. He'd unsuccessfully chased him down, then lost him. Would he return? The few demigods that the Central Network protectors had attempted to track were skittish, rarely seen in the same place. The demigods may not even maintain their same appearance from day to day. Amulets might even pass from demigod to demigod, for all a witch knew. These questions, and more, packed Derek's mind as he navigated through an equally thick market. The crowd sifted toward the Western Network castle, known as the Ark, which loomed not far away. The Red Rock building towered over the less certain market structures. Rarely did full buildings exist in the West. Tents, rock outcroppings, desert lifestyles led to homes carried on backs and reassembled where water existed. The Ark was set into a brilliant red rock mountain. Cliffs jutted on either side of it and overhead. Not only did it sprawl out stories high, chiseled into the darkened brown, reddish orange, and copper stone, but it harbored the jewel of the desert, a waterfall. The only known spring of fresh water to run with predictability poured through the Ark in a constant flow. The high priest or high priestess captured the water, distributing it at their bidding, often as a most powerful political asset. Derek headed toward the Ark, mind calculating the task ahead. The front facade of the Ark, an unscalable wall, glittered with window panes. A reflection of the climbing sun on the horizon simmered in hues of grapefruit pink and orange. He'd get inside. Not that way, though. Derek slipped into a well-known pub, appreciating the cooler, closed shade of the rock. Patrons cluttered the area, clumped around mugs of Ipsum, which flowed more freely here than water now that the borders allowed open trade. The keeper behind the bar nodded to Derek. A burly female witch with sprawling shoulders and short-cut hair. Her tanned skin gave way to dark eyes. She gestured to him with the lift of 2 fingers. He returned the greeting, then disappeared into the back. A storeroom of barrels met him. He navigated carefully, soft as shadows, until he reached a back wall. He ducked, crawled behind the largest barrel, and felt along the partition. When he detected an opening, he slipped inside. On hands and knees, he scuttled into cooler air. A tunnel hugged his shoulders, brushing against his arms, until it came to an end. Once the narrow space opened, he stood. Behind the pub lay labyrinthine dark halls. An unspoken rule extended to all who dared enter here. No torches, no light. His fingers dribbled along the wall, following a well-memorized path, the way of mercenaries and vagabonds and criminals, of those who knew how to work their connections with the underground and then hide in here. Sometimes, being a protector required back halls too. Minutes later, Derek emerged into a veiled hallway near the servants' quarters in the Ark. When he stepped out of the gloomy passage, he emerged at the back of a closet used to store old brooms. He was no longer a protector. Instead, he transformed into a female witch, slight of frame, with sparkling eyes and dark skin. The transformative magic tingled, particularly when used for such massive reform. But he didn't need it for long, just long enough to leave no trace. Nodding to those he passed, Derek began the gradual, slow work of walking to the top of the Ark, where the high priestess, Lana, kept her office. It had been a while since they'd spoken, or, more aptly, since he'd checked in on her. Sometimes he visited the Ark as a dignitary. Baxter created an appointment, Lana set out food and a meal, and it was all very presentable. Other times, he invited himself. In fact, that was most of the time. The ethics of being an active protector and the high priest of the central network rippled through his mind again. Did other highest witches spy on the other networks? Unlikely, but they had that option. They just didn't take it. Shaking off a twinge of annoyance from that particular question surfacing now of all times, Derek continued his path with dainty steps. Inhabiting the illusion of a woman's body felt strange. Over the years, he trained himself to walk less like a brute, but it didn't come without concentration. Outside Lana's office, he stopped and faded back into the wall with another spell. No other witch lingered to question him, as planned. He waited, grateful to shuck off the transformative magic that dragged on his focus. Derek waited 18 minutes, until the next Westguard patrol strolled by. His timing wasn't accidental. This was the last rotation of their shift. In 21 minutes, a different set of Westguards would patrol by with fresh attention. These two were halfway asleep, so they didn't sense idle magic. One of them muttered as they passed, rubbing his eyes with the heel of his hand. The other yawned and glanced to the left, where a spiral staircase wound to the floors below. Seeing nothing out of sorts, they left as quietly as they came. Invisible, Derek stole closer to Lana's office door. It remained closed, yet not sealed with a spell. A simple incantation amplified the sounds inside. Not many. An occasional rustle of paper, a shuffle of slippers on the floor. He paused to listen. Come on, he thought. Give me something, Lana. A voice he didn't recognize questioned with a drawling tone. How is my favorite witch? The cloying sound sent a prickle of intuition through Derek. That was the tone of a woman in charge. A woman toying with her prey. Not the type of witch Lana would tolerate within her office. If Lana did anything well, it was boundaries. Derek straightened, pressing his back to the wall. Lana replied with a controlled arch tone. Fine. A pause. Are you busy? The female asked. Not right this second, but soon. Derek strained to hear the deeper nuance of her tone. Was she stiff? Earnest? Lana wasn't a witch to let anyone manage her. Not when she had wrested control over the Western Network after Mabel left it shattered in the wake of Almoran magic. Something didn't feel right. Have you tried the magic? The woman drawled. Lana hesitated. No. No? Why not? It was a free gift, no allegiance required. A test, if you will, to determine whether or not witches can use it. Derek's jaw tightened. As a question, have you tried the magic could mean a lot of things. Set against the backdrop of demigods and mortals and the new problems that churned in Alcara, it sent a dark warning through his gut. Not good. Magicless witches in the South, combined with council pressure against Central Network support for the South, had been brewing an ugly cocktail for months. The Western Network stood in a position to gain a lot of land if they invaded the weakened Southern Network. With the right campaign, they could possibly take it. Lana could be the greatest high priestess known in the West, or no one at all. Lana never took that sort of thing laying down. Derek needed to see this other witch, or demigod, before they left, but he couldn't miss what was said. I don't want to try your magic, Lana said. Afraid? Only careful. A rolling reverberated from the woman. Derek's eyes snagged on a nearby window. A moment of hesitation preceded his decision. Seconds later, the blistering sun crackled across his back. With magic to anchor him to the stone, and an invisibility spell hiding him from view, he moved across the outside of the arc. Thankfully, this wasn't his first time. Invisibly, he hurried across the scalding rock, stopping at the lip of Lana's office window. Heat emanated from the stone so intensely he wouldn't be able to tolerate it for long. Crouching low, he cast a spell to glue his lower body to the wall. The searing rock smoldered against his pants. He gritted his teeth and breathed through the sweat-inducing fury. The sound amplification spell faded as he moved out of range, so he cast it again. Sounds from the market below intensified also, but with practiced skill and a bit of desperation. He thought past all of that to hear inside. An elegant woman stood near Lana, arms hanging at her side. On her right wrist lay a sparkling bracelet with the gaudy stone in the center. Umber hair rippled down her back in columns of curls. Her tall figure, thin shoulders, made Lana appear small. Lana tipped her head back to peer up at her, chin notched high with pride. Defiance, not fear, brought Lana in front of this other female. Concerning. The window thickened their voices, making everything a little less certain, but he managed to decipher what they said against the cacophony of the market. There you have it, Dela. See, it's not working. Lana's shoulders lifted, arms held out. The god magic is not effective. I don't need it, anyway. It's not part of the agreement, just an experiment to... She trailed away. Dela folded her arms across her middle. It is part of our agreement. Lana's tense tone replied. There is no agreement, she muttered. We need to figure out if witches can use god magic. You're able to do god magic. You're able to do magic in general. Perhaps that extends to ours. My father wants to know. I don't care about god magic. Dela stepped back. You care about other things, don't you? Now hold out your hand. Lana growled. Not now. I have things to do. You want me to acquire the assets? I need to work. There are supply lines to structure and witches to talk to and things to make happen. Not all of us have instant magic. Have you sent the scouting team? Yes. Good. They require a week, maybe two, to get a full picture. Dela's head tilted back as she rolled her eyes. Fine, but no longer. We have a timeline to attend to, if you remember. Father doesn't take well to delay, and neither do I. Derek's entire body flushed cold. Lana spoke about magic that didn't work with a demigod who wore an amulet. The sparkle of a bracelet with bruised black and purple gems was practical confirmation for his worst fears. God magic, father, Dela was a confirmed demigod then. Despite concrete details, Lana had said everything and nothing at the same time. He filled in the gaps, anticipating something heinous, but hoping desperately it wasn't true. Scouting team, acquire the assets, supply lines to structure, a timeline to attend to. The good gods. Lana might have given her allegiance to a demigod. It didn't seem to be going all that well. Your next appointment is here, Dela murmured, reaching a hand toward Lana's face. Lana jerked away, teeth bared, before Dela could touch her. Dela chuckled, hand dropping back to her side. She transformed in a moment. Instead of a curvaceous figure and sharp nose, she became a familiar male Westguard, the one Derek had chased just yesterday, then lost in the crowd. one that seemed just off enough to draw attention. He was no Westguard. He was no personal servant. The damned man was a female demigod. Dela must be a master at deception, because the demigod he had seen yesterday had a reddish-colored amulet. Did she change her amulet's appearance so it looked like a child of the god of fire, like all the rest? Why hide? Derek thought himself gutted with surprise already, but then Dela spoke again, this time with the deep burr of a male voice. Your appointment with a council member from the Central Network is in 5 minutes. I'm happy to escort you to the meeting place. I believe we will firm up our plans and move forward from here. Lana's shoulders tightened. Who is it? She asked. Dela laughed. Right, you want me to tell you all the details of this plan so you can run to your friends and reveal it all? Well, that certainly is your choice, if... Her voice trailed off with dark promise. Fine, Lana muttered. The bottom dropped out of Derek's stomach. Only instinct kept his magic active. He clung to the wall like a bloody chameleon being cooked alive. Sweat beaded over his entire body, making his fingertips slick. Over and over again, words looped through his mind. Your appointment with the council member from the Central Network is in 5 minutes. The door opened to reveal a cloaked figure. Broad shoulders indicated a male. A voice, too muffled to make out clearly, spoke from within the folds. A light haze floated around him. A distortion, perhaps. Did Dela protect a traitor for her own benefit? Derek scrambled to absorb every detail possible. Your greatness. The cloaked figure bowed at the waist to Lana, then nodded to Dela. The voice was a banal, toneless thing, definitely changed. Always good to see you, shall we? Lana nodded. Without a flicker of goddess magic for him to follow, Lana, a Central Network traitor, and a demigod left her office in a still silence. With what little composure he had left, Derek released the magic. He dropped through the sultry air, the momentary weightlessness a reprieve on his trembling legs. He transported away from the west the moment before he would have slammed into the sand-packed earth.
Boom!
There you have it.
Dang.
Chapter.
Bravo, bravo, my friend.
When do we get that one?
What'd you say?
When do we get that one?
Fantastic.
Derek for the launch team will come out
Ooh, I'm hot now.
probably the middle of May. It's all done. I'm just doing the audiobook now. So once I can get that like narrated and then edited, we'll have like a day for the launch team. But the launch team will get it at least a week early, and then everyone else will get it the first Friday in June. So, woo! All right. There you have it. The sneak peek into both
big one.
Gods.
Thank you.
Woot, woot.
It's so fun. It's weird reading it in front of people.
Thank you.
I'm a little more shy.
You did great, Katie.
I normally like
You
act
did do
out,
great.
like, with my hands. I'll like go like this. I hit the microphone a couple times.
I'm
Anyway.
beginning to think I'd better switch to audio.
Oh,
It's fun over
if
here.
if you can, listen to Prana in audio, Andy. It was yeah,
I had a lot of fun with Prana.
yeah,
She was
yeah.
really fun. That was really awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I do make snarky faces. Like I'm super subdued. Like here, that's why I'm like, oh, I'm kind of shy. I should do a video of me actually recording and like just go full gusto, or like next coffee with Katie, go full gusto, so you guys can see it. Because sometimes I have to like redo something because I'm like, okay, that was too much. Like, there's one part in Prana where Prana's like swearing. She's like, "By the sisters," and she like gets all mad. And I got so into it, I was like, "Should I take that out?" And I was like, "No, I'm just gonna leave it." She gets really mad.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
All right, all of you. I gotta
Thank
go
you.
finish writing the Forgotten Gods, but thank you so much for hanging out with me for so long, and we will see probably most of you on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jade
most
and I will keep
likely.
each other awake, won't we, Jade? We'll
Yeah.
keep each other awake.
Yep. We
Yeah.
will.
Evening one. Because you're doing two on Friday again, right?
Yeah, so Friday.
Oh,
Thank you
What?
for reminding me.
Yeah.
Friday,
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
doing 10 to 1, and then I'm doing 7 to 8, or maybe even 9 Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll join you Friday night. I can't do it during the day.
No, that's totally fine. And you guys don't have to stay for like all 6 hours, right? I mean, you can.
For some of us who are crazy enough to do so.
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah.
could, but I have two little princesses that will
I
not
get it.
let me do it.
Totally
So
understand. Anyway, so yeah, so this Friday it will be 10 to 1 and then 10 to 1 mountain time. So we'll have that translated for you. And then 7 to 8 or 9. My father-in-law will be here, so I'm just gonna pawn my kids off on him. He doesn't know that. So hope this is okay.
While he's not working on the maps. So
Right. He's busy. Yeah, he's gonna be busy. We're home. Oh, my husband will be home. Never mind, we're fine. We'll see you on Friday. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
thank you.
Take care.
Ready?
Right.